Hi everyone. Today we are going to study the properties of life. Okay, let's start. Properties of life. Okay. Number one is order. Or if you say, what is order? Everything in a living organism is very well organized. We can say cellular organization. Inside an organism, there are organ systems which are made up of organs, which are made up of tissues, which are made up of cells are made up of cell organelles, which are made up of molecules, which are made up of atoms, right? Everything is very ordered. Here you can see Helianthus annus, sunflower. Inside the sunflower flower head, here you can see it's so beautiful example of order. There are too many seeds and they are arranged in an exceptional way in Fibonacci sequence. What are Fibonacci numbers or sequence? See, if I say 1, right, the next number is 1, then the third number is the sum of previous two numbers. Okay, so 1 plus 1, 2. The next is the sum of previous two numbers. 1 plus 2, 3. Then 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. Then 8 plus 5, 13. Then 13 plus 8, 21. Then 34, 55, 89 and so on. It continues, right? Okay. So inside the flower head, inside this beautifully arranged and compactly packed center of the sunflower, the disc florets and the ovaries which contain finally seeds. So we can say the seeds are arranged in two spirals. One is in many spirals in two ways. One is clockwise manner and other is anti-clockwise manner. Right here you can see this diagram. Okay. Now if I say, you see this beautiful sunflower, if you count the number of spirals in one direction, suppose here you are counting in, suppose you say clockwise direction, here it is coming 34. Now if you count the spirals in anti-clockwise direction, counterclockwise direction in the same flower, it may come 55. It depends on the size of the flower head. If it's a small flower, maybe in one direction, suppose clockwise it is 21, then in other direction it comes 34. And if I say in a little big flower head, then 34 in one direction, 55 in other direction, or if you say bigger, then it can be 55 in one direction and 89 in other direction. So 89 number of spirals, right? So how is this beautifully packed things done by God, right? And what is the purpose here? The purpose is to accumulate maximum number of seeds without wasting the space. So this is a beautiful example of Fibonacci sequence. A lot of seeds are packed inside the same flower head and they get enough space without the wastage. And these will also get, they are so properly arranged without wasting the space that they get sunlight very nicely. If I say, what is the purpose of getting to sunlight, right? Then there are many purposes, right? Suppose a sunflower gets sunlight, it will rotate itself in the direction of sunlight, so the seeds will get heat up, and that will help in attracting pollinators. That thing we can say it is showing response to the environment. We will see that thing later, right? Okay, here done with order. Now next is evolutionary adaptation. Evolutionary adaptation. Here you can see this beautiful pygmy seahorse. See, this one. These pygmy seahorses, okay, what is the spelling? P-G-Y, pygmy, seahorse. You know seahorse is a fish, right? So these fishes, these bony fishes have evolved over countless generations to camouflage themselves very well in their surroundings. See, this pygmy seahorse lives on corals. Here you can see this coral. Here you can see one more pygmy seahorse is here. Okay, these live very well on the surrounding. And what are this host? Gorgonian sea fan. These are corals, right? You know, Gorgonian sea fan. So what is the purpose of this camouflage? To hide itself from predators. So the organisms evolve, they adapt themselves. Okay, now third one, see one more example. This beach mouse. You have seen the normal mouse that lives in the mud, and that is generally of brown color. Now if you see this beach mouse, this is of the color of the sand. It has evolved over many generations, right, to protect itself from predators. Okay, if I say the C, third, energy processing, right? Every organism needs energy for different purposes. For example, if I say this butterfly, it needs energy for flight, right, and for all other functions. And for this processing of energy, there are multiple metabolic reactions going on. If I say, how does an organism gets energy? The organism will need fuel, right? And suppose here this butterfly, from where does she get this fuel? She is drinking the nectar from flowers, and then she will use the chemical energy of this fuel to flight it, right, to fly and different things. But how that food is converted into that energy bomb, right? And that is metabolism. Those reactions are metabolic reactions. If I say cellular respiration, right, then cellular respiration is there. In plants there is photosynthesis. All those and it's not just respiration and photosynthesis, multiple reactions are going on. They will help. Okay, then I say growth and development. If an organism is born, right, that will grow. For example, if you say my daughter, when she was born, she was so small, so cute. Now also she is the cutest person for me in the world. But she has grown up, right? If I say your child, or if you are yourself child and studying, right, then you were grown from a child, you were from a very small stage. Now you are grown up. So how did you grow? How did you develop during the different stages of your growth, right? Different stages of life, different phenomenon happen, different, and how this happens, who directs this? The genetic information stored in our genes, our DNA. Our genes will decide how the growth and development happens. If you see here, coriander seedling, right, this has grown from a seed, and this will grow up well and itself produce seeds one day. Everything will be decided and directed by the information stored in the gene. Now if I say maintaining constant body temperature by homeothermic organism, see, if I say homeostasis, right, that is the example of regulating the inside environment. For example, you can see this jackrabbit's ears. This is jackrabbit. You can see how long are the ears and how highly vascular the ears are. The body heat is transferred to the ears and it radiates out, help in cooling the organism. Now if you will say, what about poikilothermic? They have also different adaptations to help them survive. So for example, some lizards take sun bath, right? And get heat up. That is also example, right? Okay. Now if I say next property, reproduction. Re means again production, producing. So reproducing and reproducing a copy, reproducing an offspring. That is reproduction. And that is like a giraffe. People will look like giraffe. So the babies look like parents, more or less. If I say reproduction sexual, the babies will not be clone of their parents, but they will look more or less similar to their parents. And if I say reproduction is asexual, then there will be definitely photocopy or clones. Okay, different methods are there that we can study later. Now, if I say response to the environment, to the external stimuli, response to external stimulus, that is consciousness. Okay, here you can see this Venus flytrap. An insect landed on the leaf and the leaf suddenly closes so that it can digest this insect by the digestive enzymes and fuel itself, right? This insect will act as a fuel for it. This is an insectivorous plant. Okay, now how it responded? Immediately, as soon as the insect lands, the leaves closes to enjoy the meal. Okay. Now, if I say another example, suddenly you touch a hot object and immediately you remove your hand. That is an example of response to external stimuli. So, living organisms respond to external stimuli. Okay, here you can see this beautiful Venus flytrap. Okay, now you know the different properties. There are some of the properties of life I have discussed: order, evolutionary adaptation, energy processing, metabolism, growth and development, regulation, reproduction, and response to external stimuli. Thank you very much. We'll see you later. We'll meet later. Okay, bye bye.